Welcome to Keys Family Resource Center. This is for anyone so you know what's going on virtually. I try to keep it up to date. It's at kainosnavigation.com. And then what you do is you click on, it says homeschool program, and then you just click on this bottom link. It says Welcome to Keys Family Resource Center. Click on that. That'll show us some of the programs that are happening like right now, right in the future. And then there's other articles you could read, but I wanted to show you that the Kainos art, music, quilts, those are all things that are for sale. And here's a donate button. And meeting the teachers, these are all the teachers that have influenced us. Meditation, Bible study, interviews. Interviews, I'd love to hear from you. If you want me to post them, I will. But I have been interviewing people. Someone suggested I get a Patreon account, sort of just learning all this stuff. But yeah, ultimately, our goal as a family unit is to get out of the system and just into entrepreneurship, just basically self employment. My husband's doing really well, Zucker Family Teaching. Oh, wait, let me go to his website to show you what he's doing because I think that's also really important. Zucker, it's called David Zucker Music. So if you go, just type in David Zucker, I think it's already in here. Zucker Music. It should pop right up. It's like the only one. If you go to David Zucker, you'll be the composer. It's the wrong one, but davidzuckermusic.com is his website. And then you just click on that, and it shows how he's performed all over the US, Europe, India, and he's performed on piano, keys, guitar. He's been on channels. His music is used in the NFL. There's different networks that have played his music. He actually has all these videos here. We're trying to do another rock camp. This is just his own, what do we call it here? Zucker polka, so he's very, very talented. Let's see. So that's his talent. Mine is writing and reading. Teaching. So as you can see, we're trying to market this. I mean, it's amazing, genius. So I don't want to embarrass him too much. He made this up. This is when we first moved into our house, because yeah, I remember. Okay, anyways, I just wanted to briefly show you just that. And if you're registered, make sure you're also registered on the website. So if you're not registered, you just have to go to registration and you just click there and you just sign up with your email. If you're not registered to this, please register to this, because this is like our daily communication. This is basically our social media. I'll try to put out a video every now and then. There's me in the morning. So right now, the points I wanted to illustrate are boundaries, the tree of life, and gentle reminders. Okay, because we do need to also work as a team to prevent strong delusions from infiltrating the systems. So, and that was a concern. I also read somewhere in here, it's been a struggle. People are having struggles with this, trusting God. Yeah, The New Mystics by John Crowder is a very, very good book. A lot of great stories, but a lot of the stories do have to do with supernatural, and it could trigger people. Teleportation, floating, levitating, all sorts of things. People that didn't burn. I think John was one of those. They couldn't kill him. So I think some of that has to do with our lack of faith. That's why we don't see that as much nowadays. So yeah, we definitely play a part in the faith movement. That's why the faith movement was so big for so long. It is important that we have faith in Christ, or in God, at least, start somewhere, and then work on a relationship with him and discerning his voice. But at the same time, we need to honor people where they're at, and respectively so. If somebody's in a group with someone, or somebody is involved with someone else's mountains or whatever, we need to respect every single individual in there. um, so I just wanted to share with you on this happy St. Patty's Day. I got my tights. um, a cute little poem first to start, and it's actually from him directly. But before I do that, let me share what Melody got in the morning. She got this. We talked about the Trinity a little bit, from her dad, and her dad made this beautiful poem. Let me read this one. So so the leprechauns make a mess all over the house, and then it leads to some candy or some gold treasures. It happens every year. So today there was a mess on the stairs, and there was all these pieces of noodles, and not cooked noodles, but noodles from the box, and they were all leading to this little path. And then there was more mess of toys and things, green things. And then he has these notes, and it says, "I came on a rainbow made of light from the day, but I must spread my mischief, so I just can't stay." He's a really good rhymer. I know, I can't help but gloat on about my husband. He's wonderful. Okay, and it says, "I came to your house from far away because I love to laugh and play. Spread joy, go out and play. Happy St. Patty's Day." So that was our cute little rhyme. Dave did that all by himself. I did not help him. People always ask me, "Oh, you did that?" No, that's Dave. He's a very good rhymer. So we decided to, let me just see. So let's see the next thing. Okay, so St. Patrick had on his breastplate, "Christ be with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me." And I want you to visualize this for yourself too. "Christ above me, Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ where I lie, Christ where I sit, Christ where I rise, Christ in the heart of every man who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of every man who speaks of me, Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. Salvation is of the Lord." Amen. That's a beautiful prayer. I just pray that blessing upon all of you guys. So yeah, just wanted to remind you about that. Sign up make sure you're on both, because I noticed some of you are members in here. There's 163, but are not members here and are not members on the YouTube channel. So just make sure you're on all three so you get every line of communication. Because there we go. Okay, so here we have so many good references revolving around this mystery, the mystery of Christ, by Robert Capone. Would be an excellent resource. Beyond Human by Justin Abraham. High on God by Matt Spinks. So I'm just reading through some of my favorites. Nancy Cohen, Limitless. Steve McVey, A Divine Invitation. That is a really good book, excuse me, to use for a study group if you can. That would be excellent. I was suggesting that to Lisa's group. George MacDonald. Oh, George MacDonald has a beautiful book. I don't know if you guys have this. The Gospel According to George MacDonald. It's so good. So good. I highly recommend it. Also, we're doing our Bible study tonight, and that is chapter 9. No, chapter 10. 9 or 10. I think it's 9. Let me see, just so I make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Oh, I think it is 9. Let me see, just to make sure. Here we go. Okay, so here we have Hebrews chapter 9, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So I will be there for sure. That's tonight. Yay. Make sure you sign up. This is our other okay, so Hebrew Mirror Word Bible Study. This is our other group, um public group. This is public, not private. Okay. So our membership is private. This one's public. So it's a little more anybody can sign up. That's why so many people there. But our group, I'd like to keep it private, personal. Don't invite people unless you really think they could benefit from the finished work. And they're not going to be too easily offended because our group can at times get offensive. Love heretic is another one like that. But luckily, with the Kainos creation, pretty much any Christian will agree that about the new creation. It's just the difficulty is knowing that they're no better than the born again, the person who just got saved yesterday, and that's all about the vineyard and the parables that Jesus taught, like first will be last, last will be first, all that good stuff. So yeah, there's ours, Kainos Education Youth Ministry. We just want to make sure we're preaching the real gospel when we're teaching kids, when we're doing homeschool projects, and my goal too is not just to teach this stuff. It's also to teach things like boundaries and reading between the lines and social cues, understanding what um, people agendas and what people because it's not like just because we know the finished work of the cross and everyone's saved and all that kind of stuff um in this life we still have discernment and judgment. I mean, not judgment, what's the word for it? I think we have to recognize that people are going to be drawn to different movements, and if this isn't your thing, that's fine. We don't want to impress any kind of fear onto the hearts, especially with kids. So we can really tie in the secular with it because there's no condemnation for those in Christ. We're all in Christ, we're all included. The beautiful thing about the finished work is that we're living on the tree of life and not by our own works. We're not living off of our own works. Now, do we fall into that? Of course, we're not flawless yet. We're not there yet. If especially you work really hard on something, you want to be rewarded for it. That's our way our system works. So, and when I say our system, see, I'm even saying our system as a society, as a culture works like that. But in the future, which I think is going to be pretty fairly soon, it's going to be an economy of joy. So the transition to that might be difficult. I know for me, God's having me quit jobs, left and right. I'm doing different things. I'm moving as quick as I can. It's almost like I'm trying to keep up with him, but no, he's very patient with me. I know I should. One thing that he's been speaking to my heart about is writing, just getting all these thoughts out and sharing it with people because so many people need to hear this, that they are loved by God, that they are treasured by God, that there is no separation. That was a big lie of religion, and he's exposing that. So it's a beautiful thing, and I think people are coming out of their shell. I know I am slowly but surely, but it can be nerve wracking because you don't know everything. You're not. You might not be the most persuasive teacher or pastor or whatever. For me, it was never about that. For me, it wasn't about being the best at something or being competitive or jealous or anything like that. For me, it's just more about living my life. This is what I said in I think my first or third video. Trusting the process. Okay. So it's not like I'm trusting my works and it's not like I'm 100% hearing every single thing God is doing. But I'm trusting in the process that He's laid out for me. So if that can help and encourage others, if you're starting to experience doubt or you feel like you made a mistake or you didn't hear Him properly, just go back to Him and ask again. Okay, Father, clear this up for me. What do I need to do to make this situation right again? How do I show forgiveness in this area of my life? How do I show kindness? How do I show gratitude? How do I give to others? A lot of people don't have the heart for giving. I had to learn that the hard way. I gave him all my money, and then he showed me what a gift it was to give, and that he rewards the givers, and the cheerful giver gets rewarded twofold. So that was proven to me time and time again. So what I wanted to read to you, I wanted to read you one thing from Hebrews 9, because we're going to go into this tonight with Pat and Pam. But I just wanted to read to you about the blood of Christ. So if you think about it, back in the day, this is 9:13, the blood of the beast and the ashes of burnt sacrifices of a heifer could only achieve a very temporal and surface cleansing by the Spirit, by being sprinkled on the guilty. So there was only like a shadow system. It wasn't the real deal, right? This is it says the shadow system with its imperfections is a possible means of obtaining a lasting and meaningful sense of innocence had to be exhausted. Okay, proving that nobody can do it on their own. So ready? So 9:14 says, how much more effective was the blood of Christ when he presented his own flawless life through the eternal Spirit before God in order to purge your conscience from its frustration under the cul-de-sac rituals of the law. There is no comparison between guilt and duty-driven dead religion systems and the vibrance of living your life free from sin consciousness. This is what the New Testament priesthood is all about. Okay, so the necron, the dead works, that's the Greek for dead works, is a dead religious routine system that can never compete with the resurrected Christ now realized within you, right? So he's a mediator, the Messites, a mediator. Okay, in Greek it's Messites. Fully representing mankind, Jesus' death brought an end to the old and introduced a new testament. He thus redeemed us from the transgressions recorded under the first covenant and identified us as heirs, qualifying us to participate in the full inheritance of all that he obtained on our benefit. Wow, that's so good. So the methods of the law could only shadow what we had in our future. Now the lamb was slain before the foundation of the world, right? So we know that. We know this has been a long time, huh? But that's okay, because we have God even people that were burned at the stake early on in the early church, even before he died on the cross, we were still mystically tied with him, a union with him. That's why it's important that when you look at the Old Testament, when you look at the Old Testament, you look at it through a Christological lens. That's what we learned in the Bible school, the New Wine Bible School. Because otherwise you're going to see an angry God, and that's not who the Father is. But yes, he does get angry at injustice, and he will make the wicked will repent. They will turn from their ways. Okay, but he's not going to force them. Okay, so let me see here. We're at John. I wanted to show you something about John that's so special, and that has to do with his prayer. Okay, so this is good. So listen to this. This is John 17. Now, this is written really well in the King James too, all the version, but this is just the image, the mirror image. Hold on. The Mirror Bible is a reflection of the Greek mindset, the paraphrased Greek. So let me just read to you the way that he puts it. Okay, so for their sakes, I do sanctify myself. Oh, let me do one more thing. Mirror, so you guys can see who I'm talking about. Yeah, here we go, mirrorword.net. Okay, getting better at this. Okay, here we go. Books. Ooh, so here's all his books. His children's books. I can't wait to get this. I already have Little Bear. I need the other one now. Anyways, see all these beautiful books. Now, if I go to maybe I could even Mirror Study Bible. That would be cool, so you guys could see it on the screen, right? I don't know if it's gonna work right now. I know I have it somewhere because I did buy the thing, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Okay, so let me just finish reading this because it's so powerful. He's praying for the people. he says in verse 18, he says, wow, there's so much. I want to read all of this. Okay, I'll just read 17:7. Now they too have come to know that everything you have given me originate in their own I amness. In you, man began in God. Okay. Next verse 8, 17:8 is, I have given them the very words which you have given me in our conversation, which words they have embraced, and I have come to know that surely I also proceeded from you and are commissioned by you. Verse 9, I pray specifically for them, those who know that they are yours to begin with, and that you gave them to me. I'm not here to debate with those who still see themselves defined by the world system. Verse 10, I'm greatly esteemed in our shared friendship with every individual person. All those who are mine are also yours, and what is yours is mine. Verse 11, I am no longer in the world, but they are. I am proceeding to be the face to face with you, Holy Father. I ask for protection of those whom you have given me in your name, that they also may be one, even as we are one. In verse 12, while I was with them in the world, I guarded over the ones you had given me in your name, and I did not lose any, except the lost son, who fulfilled what was written prophetically. And now, this is verse 13, I come to face to face with you, Father. I speak these things while I'm still in the world, so that they may have my joy fulfilled in themselves. Wow. Verse 14, I have given them your logos, and now the world hates them because they have lost their manipulative, performance-based hold over them. These know now that they did not originate in the cosmos, but in the logos, even as I did not begin in the cosmos, but in the logos, in the word. This is so good. Okay, so I do not request that you take them out of the world, but that you keep them from the evil performance-based system of hardships, labor, and annoyances. So that's that tree of knowledge of good and evil. They are not defined by the cosmos system, even as I'm not defined. Verse 17, define them in your truth. Your logic is the unveiled truth. Hagazio speaks of satisfaction. Verse 18, just as you have commissioned me into the world, so I send them on the mission into the world. For their sakes, I sanctify myself in the high, above the cosmos systems, so that their true set apartness will be mirrored in me. I don't pray for them exclusively, but also for those who would come to believe in me because of their word. They all may be one, exactly as you, Father, are mirrored in me and I in you, and that they also will be exactly mirrored to be one in us. Then the entire world will believe and be persuaded about your mission upon my life. Verse 22, and I, the incarnate word, right? This is Jesus, have endued with them the same glorious esteem that you have given me, so that their oneness may mirror ours. Wow. Wow. There's so much here. I am in them and you're in me, and on the basis of their seamless oneness may be entirely included. Thus, the world will acknowledge your commission upon my life and know that my love for them mirrors your love for me. Father, I desire that what you have given me in them may cause them to be where I am, so that they may see what I see and gaze attentively upon their splendor of the splendor of my glory, which you have given me, because you loved me before the fall of the world. Thus, the world will all be persuaded that your love for them was never compromised because of the fall. You continue to love them. Wow. Father of righteousness, while the world has not known you, I have known you, and these here have come to know that you have sent me. I have made the essence. This is the last verse, verse 26. I have made the essence of your being known to them so that they may know you by name. I will also give them understanding to know that the same love where you have loved me is in them, even as I am in them. Wow, we are mirror reflections of Christ. So this is why when we talk about boundaries, we do need to set boundaries with people. We are not a doormat, but we are all one. It's so beautiful, this gospel. So I mean, I know when I first heard this message, I felt like, oh, I gotta, be super kind to everyone and never turn anyone away. Because that's what Jesus, he didn't turn anyone away, he healed everybody, but we're not there yet. We're not at that level of, at least I know I'm not. We also need to rest. We also need to give ourselves space to rest, rejuvenate. We all have value and we have abundance living inside of us. So, in order for that to sprout and bring fruit, the life, then we need to emulate that in everything we do. And the manifest will just come. It doesn't, you don't have to work for it. You just be, you just share the good news. And for me, as my gifts have to do with teaching, education, reading, writing, mostly working with kids and getting them up on grade level. But for now, this summer, God planted in my heart to do a creative writing class, one for adults and one for kids. So I'm really excited to dive into that. Whereas we're going to need some supplemental income for this summer, and probably we'll do one next summer too, just the way things are going. A lot of people are really reaching out. They want to be in a community with like-minded people who can, either tutor their sons or daughters, and help each other grow in their family units and whatnot. And so it's a beautiful thing to see what Father's doing, and even in the secular community with what I do as well. So I wanted to share that. Another book we're going to go over is Revelation, but through the eyes of Francois du Toit, so that you understand it and it's not to be anything scary. And then next week, we'll talk about, this is a painting of mine. We're going to talk about the brain and behavior. I don't know if you guys know, but the second thing that I majored in was psychology. So you see the face? Hopefully you can see the face. So I was really into cognitive psych for quite some time. And I just saw these things like before 2020 happened. Oh, this will probably freak out your religious self. This I wrote before 2020, right? It's upside down. Oh my gosh, it's upside down. Yeah. So I wrote this before 2020. And then I just find this kind of strangely prophetic because of what happened in 2020. I was just doodling and this is what came out. And it definitely says 2020 and has a time capsule. And yeah, there's definitely flames. You see what you want to see in there, but that's one of my paintings trying to sell. And so my daughter and I were putting our ideas of all the people that we have prayers for. We're putting them representing each sticker for the rainbow, because God made promise in the rainbow. All right, so we have lots of different activities to do with the kids, but those are coming up next week. For now, I want to show you the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up. It's probably the better way to do it. Okay, so make sure you could see here. I'm going to put this like maybe like that. I don't know. Yeah, this is the tricky part. Guys, I don't know how this is going to work. I need my stand. Okay, I need y'all praying for me so I get some sort of stand here, because this is not working out here too well. Because of the glare, we might have to turn this off. There we go. There's still a glare, but okay, so what we're looking at here is we have the satanic tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, we have that. Let me back it up a little, maybe that. Ooh, that kind of helps right there. How's that, guys? Oh, I know. We need to stop sharing the screen, don't we? Oh, there we go. So much easier. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. And now let's see if we get rid of some of the glare. Let's see if I do this. I wonder if that helped. I don't know what's making that big old glare. Is that that? No, that's weird. Anyway, okay. So as you see, we have the tree of knowledge. Okay, the tree of knowledge. That's the knowledge of good, bad. This is right. This is wrong. Here are just some ideas we came up with. And this, we actually did this. My daughter and I did this together. She said the words. I wrote them down. Some of them I came up with. COVID-19. We can judge it as good. We can judge it as bad. There's no right and wrong. Okay, we live out the tree of life, not the knowledge of good and evil. That's the satanic. And even the knowledge of good, it can be satanic. That's why even I put Buddhism, because there's nothing wrong with Buddhism. I mean, they're good people, good, it's good, but that's, again, I'm basing it on knowledge of what I know about it. There's a lot of unknowns in the world, and that's why we resolve to know nothing but Christ and him crucified, right? So that gives us the freedom to live our life in the ways of the fruit of the Spirit, which is love, joy, rest, giving, abundance, righteousness, patience, faithful, honesty, unity. Let me do patience. I thought I wrote that. That's a good one. Okay, patience. And then over here we have vaccines, we have death, we have sickness, disease, even spiritual warfare. Okay, a lot of people do tons of spiritual warfare, and that, again, that's I mean, if God's telling you to do it, that's one thing, but I think it's overdone. I really do. I think it's like, that's not what we need to be focusing on in this new age, next age. There's new age, there's rage, lack, spirit of depression, anxiety, religion. These are all from the good bad tree. So I hope that clears it up a little bit for you. We did invest in this whiteboard, so we're still looking for some donations, but no rush and no pressure, only if God leads you to. So this is going to be the end of the video for now, because we have to prepare for Bible study, and I have to get my daughter and do fun stuff with her today. So I'm really excited. Gonna pick up from her Grammy's house today. She just had a really wonderful time, I'm sure, because they have conferences and all sorts of stuff going on this week and next. And it's that end of the year excitement before spring break. So I hope everyone is enjoying it. I did want to let you know too, to make sure you register for the classes, for creative writing classes, as soon as you can. Just contact me on my Gmail. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to get all my membership forms together by the end of this week, just to see where we're at, and then go from there. We will have a professional contract written out. I just had to tweak it a little bit, so don't worry about the one that you see online. That's an older version of it, so we're gonna make it a lot more feasible. So, all right, God bless. Yes, bliss kiss.
I've got honey in my veins and oil on my head, and I believe every word you say.